Who's putting the arm down?
I guess I'm over here. I'll put the arm down.
Does this mean we're starting?
I think this means we're starting.
Okay. What's your name?
So there it is, Dave.
I don't hear anything.
The lowest of the low, Shakespeare in my butt.
Shakespeare in my butt. And what are we going to listen to?
We're going to listen to Salesmen, Cheats and Liars. Even looking at this reminds me of how close it was to never happening, because Dave and Steve and I were in a band called Popular Front that was languishing and playing all these big worldly political songs and trying to capture these big issues. And I remember a gig at Strattinger's in Toronto where I believe my girlfriend was the only person who showed up at the show, and I was driving you home and we pulled up in front of your house and I looked at you and you just looked completely crestfallen and you said, maybe we should just pack this in. And I was like, you know what?
I think I used the word rebrand.
Maybe we should rebrand this.
I was the first person to use that word.
I heard pack it in.
Okay.
And then I think I said like, yeah, I know, but let's sleep on it. And so we slept on it, and if you flash forward 6 months later, as Dave says, we sort of rebranded the band and decided we needed a new tack. And I started writing some songs that were much more close to home and much more about Toronto. And somehow we landed on the name Lowest of the Low. I think that was the first name we decided to choose, and then we went and made a list of a million other ones, including my favorite one.
The Quaker Guns.
The Quaker Guns.
I thought was,
I was thinking of Men Shall Know Nothing of This.
Oh yeah. Which is now a sticker on one of my drum cases. But I think Lowest of the Low is actually the name of a painting. I was looking through Jansen's History of Art, and I should actually try and find that painting one day, but it's an actual thing. It doesn't actually mean for us at the time, some degenerate in society, the lowest of the low. It was actually, or had a loftier fine art.
So then I remember that, then we start the band and, plug it away.
The ironic part of that is probably half the songs we played were from the previous band too, and that's why I said we're the first people to actually rebrand.
To rebrand ourselves.
Yes, and then I think the goal at that time for me, I wanted to sell out Lee's Palace once in my life before I actually packed it in.
Right.
So, and within, the space of a year we were doing that.
So we're done here.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Thanks for having us.
I accomplished my goal.
And then, so then we went and recorded this record. We had all these songs, and I think we were going in to make demos, and we went to Metalworks.
Yeah. We never intended to make an album. It was, as you say, you had an explosion of writing over like a 6-month period, maybe. You wrote 17 songs, 22 songs. We couldn't get them all on this, but so we went in and did bed tracks at Metalworks. I remember being in a loading dock. Nobody else does. I think that's where I was doing my drums, in a big concrete chamber. Yeah. And I didn't know then that you generally, when you do an album or even beds, you generally like 5 songs a day or something. But the idea was go in and just
we didn't tell Dave that.
Record everything. So I didn't know. So we did. We recorded the 17 songs, and as I remember too, we just did a couple of jabs at each one. We accidentally erased 6 of them by like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to do 22 bed tracks in a day.
Yeah, which is unheard of. And then we finished the record in a Foley booth.
Yes.
Did all the overdubs at Sound by Deluxe, which was also unheard of. Then we tried to get the record.
When you say Foley booth, they were no bigger than this room, and Steve and Ron would be standing in like a sandbox or a box that was filled with glass, because that's where they did the sound effects. And so you had to be careful when you're playing guitar that you didn't step and
straddling the pebble box.
You should actually comb the album and just see if there's any of those effects in there. But
and then
that
we tried
was
to get that.
Months of that.
Then we tried to shop that and get it signed, and of course nobody wanted to touch us with a 10-foot pole, and we just kept playing and created this kind of groundswell, and then the phone started ringing off the hook.
Yeah, I think it was like, we were also, it was almost like Dragon's Den back then. Nobody wants to touch you until you've sold, 50,000 units yourself.
And we did actually through Page Productions, through Stephen Page's dad. Eventually, they licensed it. And then the phone kept ringing, and that song, Salesmen, Cheats and Liars, Molson Canadian called us and tried to give us $75,000 to use the song in a commercial. And I remember going, A, are you not listening to any of these lyrics whatsoever? And B, you. And because back in those days, it was like nobody nobody wanted to let their music be used to sell products.
Anything commercially, it was like artistic suicide. It would be the end of your end of your career, pretty much.
Yeah. And so they kept calling. They called every 6 months, upping the money to $85,000, $90,000. Got to $120,000, and we managed to hold out. I think I might have been shaking a little bit. We managed to hold out.
But
and
we did worse things too. We said no to opening for Bryan Adams for 3 nights in some stadium in Vancouver.
We said no to the Bare Naked Ladies.
Because we thought like, oh, because there's a buzz about us. They just want a piece of us to make them look more artistically.
Said no to the Tragically Hip.
Yeah.
Pretty much don't do anything we did.
Yeah. So when we split up that time, like when we came back in 2004, we were just like, okay, we're going to say yes to things because the world's changed a bit, and we don't want to like blacklist ourselves from everything. But no offers came in.
Yeah. It's a perfect time to look. The song's over.